Here's a bit of a serious subject. Don't know, how do you feel about conspiracy theories and stuff like that? Then these get into any of that sort of stuff?
I wouldn't say I'm a conspiracy theorist. I would say I'm intrigued by some of the theories.
That's because there's a few people in my work, and some of them are fucking horrific. They're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's the thing
Yeah.
the reason I was going to add is I find that they're so one track minded, and see if you come up with an argument against what they're saying, they just dismiss it and come out with something else. They'll not actually acknowledge the fact that what you've said is completely obliterated what they've said. They'll just move on to something else and make out as if that was a point all along. You're going, but no, that's not what you said. It's all this flat earth stuff and all that. You're just like, oh, Jesus Christ almighty.
But I thought we were like generally going down a subject that was like going to be
a serious conversation.
See, I don't know. It depends what kind you're on about.
Mm. I mean, that's the thing.
I think I'm open to. You look into stuff and you're like, well, that don't quite add up. That don't quite add up. I wouldn't say I'm closed-minded on it, where I see something and I'm like, that's 100% the truth. No, you won't convince me otherwise.
That's exactly my point, mate. Like I say, there's a couple of them, but one especially in my lot, and it just doesn't. He's like, no, I'm not interested in that. What are you talking about? So you don't want to have a discussion about it. You just want to spout what your doctrine is, and then everybody's just to agree with what you say because.
Yeah.
And if you say, yeah, but scientists have said, yeah, but they're paid by the government. What? So basically, you're taking your evidence from Amalmahe from fucking Utah or something. That's what, it's on Facebook. That's what you're taking.
He is pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah. But it just grates in my nerves. I can't be bothered with that sort of closed-mindedness when they're very aggressive with it as well. It's like, I just wondering what you thought if he's come up against any people like that yourselves.
Yeah, I know a few people like it.
Yeah.
Like Tom said, it's like when someone says, "Oh, like the moon landing never happened; it was all done in a studio." I mean, that's one thing, but to say stuff like 9/11 didn't happen, and you're like, "Well, fuck, it did."
Yeah, we all sort of witnessed it.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh no, it's all a hologram, it's all video evidence, CGI." You think, no, it's happened.
Yes.
It depends on what the topic is, but some of it just really pisses me off because, like you say, it's just so narrow-minded.
Yeah, like I said, mate, it's just the fact they won't open their mind to anything else. There's no other sort of, doesn't matter what you say, you can shoot down what they're saying and they've got their agenda and that's exactly where they're going.
That's because they've like fully convinced themselves that that's
but that's
true, and there's nothing else you could say that will convince them otherwise.
Yeah, and they've just come out with false data and false sort of research. Research. They went onto fucking Facebook and found some crazy woman that stays somewhere that's done a video that has absolutely no basis in science whatsoever. And you're just like,
Karen.
You are a fucking lunatic.
Some woman called Karen that's got 10 cats told her.
Yeah, it's just cherry picking information to support their theory or support their point or whatever. But yeah. So it annoys me. It's not many things in life annoy me, but that does.
Not quite related, but kind of on the same track. As you are Scottish, Tam, is Nessie real?
Ooh, that's a good one.
No, mate. Don't be silly.
Oh, yes, because I've seen him on a bobble app.
Yeah.
I've seen the video footage.
Yeah. I'm just wishing there was something here I could do that at the bottom of the screen going.
I want to believe that he's real, though.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've watched stuff. There was a girl from America on Facebook. I'm not kidding, I didn't. But stuff that's to do with, they reckon there is stuff that's really, really deep under the sea that you never know is there because you won't be able to reach those depths. So, who knows?
I'm a massive believer and fan of like paranormal. So after that, I kind of get swept into all these like documentaries on like Nessie, Bigfoot, what's under the sea. And it's true, like with the sea one, for example, it's that much is unexplored of the ocean.
Yeah, you couldn't possibly
I think I've seen something that's like only like 3-4%. It's probably more than that. Of the ocean has actually been discovered or not discovered as such.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Explored.
But you won't know.
Well, it's one of those ones that they'd sent something down and they found these creatures that they didn't even know existed because they were so far down and didn't think anything could survive down there and at such low pressure. But life finds a way.
We always joke about you saying about Bigfoot. You've seen the programs on like Sky about Bigfoot trying to find him.
Yeah, some of them.
And there's this bloke on there called Bobo, and he does his like field call. He goes woo, and it comes up at the bottom, and it says Bobo, expert Bigfoot caller. And then my dad went, "How's he an expert if they've never found one?" And you're like, "Do you know what? That's a good point. They've never seen one, but he's an expert."
Apologies if anyone from America's watching, but Americans are fucking crazy, mate. Their minds are. They'll believe the amount of stuff that they will believe is unreal.
I mean, you see some stuff and you're like, it's so easily explained, but they won't have. And the fact that they make shows on it, like, I mean, I've watched some absolute crap where it's just like, it's so easily explained, but they convince themselves, and I don't know why, and it seems to be an American thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, they'll believe anything you throw at them.
Yeah.
Anything.
I think it though, like, when I go night fishing, and if I'm not walking through the woods or something with a head torch on, I'm 6'7" and far from anorexic. I could be mistaken for a Bigfoot. Like, it's easily done. You see, like, my footprints, like size 15 boots. Someone must walk down and go, bloody hell, who's been
fucking Sasquatch?
Fucking Sasquatch on the south coast of England.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is mental what people believe and get so passionate about.
Yeah.
I'm happy either way. Until I see it,
I think if any of you guys are watching, you'd like us to dive into sort of one of these subjects, it'd be quite interesting to have a wee more in-depth conversation about something like this.
Anything paranormal, I'm all over.
Or if you've seen a Bigfoot, send in the picture.
Yeah.
I'd love to see one.
Not one of Gary's boots, by the way, just to clarify.
Yeah, I don't mean a big foot.
Yeah.
Bigfoot. No.
Rich, we're talking to you because we just know that that's the sort of thing that you would do.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's the sort of thing I would do as well, but that's...
Well, good topic, I know it's like that.
Leading down like a rabbit hole. It would be interesting to see if anyone's got anything.
Yeah, just stick a wee comment below in the comment section, obviously, just if there's anything you'd want us to talk about or anything that you think we're talking crap about, stick it in, get involved. Could even maybe get you on if you want to discuss that sort of stuff. Be good.
No flat earthers, though.
Paranormal activity. I'm well into paranormal.
Yeah.
Any ghost stories?
I said, I mean, that sort of stuff interests me, but there's just certain things that just, you go, wait, that's just fucking ridiculous. Just stop being so silly. But I find all that sort of stuff interesting. It's just people that are so blinded to these things, it just cracks me up.
Are we believers in ghosts? Or open, or...
It's one of those, like I said, mate, I'm not close-minded. If someone says something, I'll have a look at it and I'll judge it for myself. But so it's, for me, there's not been enough evidence to support it, so I don't know.
Apart from Derek Acora.
Yeah, that's exactly
getting an Oscar.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's detrimental to these things, is these fucking idiots that just they just give no credence to whatever it is the other people are saying.
I keep trying to convince Liz to go on like a weekend with me, where you could pay to do them, can't you? And go stop in like the castles or whatnot. And then she's like, yeah, and then I'm just like, no, I can't do it. Just in case.
Take your Mulan bag. Little backpack. Dora the Explorer torch.
I'm the worst person to take something like. I'd love to do it though.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'd love to see something just to validate my thoughts, but at the same time, I don't want to see it.
Right. So I was never a believer until I believed that I saw something. So I'm convinced that I did. And so, quick little story. Obviously, we all know Jake. I'll call him Jake though. So when he was younger, in the house that we grew up in, it's not, like they say, kids, because they're not old enough to understand, they kind of don't have this veil as such.
Yep.
It was my dad's parents that lived in that house, and then he took it from them, and we grew up in that, and we never had any pictures of them around the house or whatever. And then he'd always laugh away to himself and whatnot. And then my dad found a picture of his dad and put it up on the on the cabinet kind of thing. And then Jake turned around and said, "That's who talks to me."
Yeah, that's stuff like that. It's freaky.
And it's like he's never even seen a picture of him. He's too young to even, you know. And it's kind of like, what? And then I'm convinced myself that I've seen him, but I'm not sure if that was because that's happened. This is what I mean. It's like, is that your mind playing in your brain playing tricks on you?
Let's put it into your head.
Yeah, and then obviously this is old as we had a few stuff that weren't explainable, and it's kind of like, is it not? Are we looking too much into it? But ever since Jake said that, that's what made me so curious to it and open to it all.
Yeah,
a believer as such.
It's scary. I mean, that's kind of why I'm sort of open to the idea, because my dad never believed. He never believed in it at all, and he's a big old boy, my dad, and he can look after himself. And he went and stayed at my auntie's house one night. Come home in the night, absolutely terrified because of what he thought he saw. And that's when he started watching all these documentaries. And you think, well, what the hell's he seen to change his mind?
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything myself, but the experiences and the stories that he's told, you think, oh, okay. You never know.
It is one of them, though, isn't it? You have to see it. You need that evidence yourself fully to say that is true, that is real.
Yeah.
No matter what people tell you or spout to you, you could be like, oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
But something I'd like to do.
As you said, though, it's the thing with if it's really young kids, you go, right, well, they've not had their mind corrupted to thinking that way. They don't really get scared by it. They just take it as, and that's why some of those stories you're going, right, that's fucking really weird. That's super strange.
Yeah. This is the most serious we've been.
Yeah. Nah, it doesn't have to all be about me being hilarious all the time, Gary. Sometimes it's...
Still haven't fit in a pun, though, have you?
No, mate. But it's because